What's going on, you guys? This is Cooked Vegetables back in here with another podcast for you guys, man. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing absolutely amazing wherever you happen to be in the world. The title of today's podcast is going to be You Will No Longer Want Baddies on Semen Retention. Man's desire for woman dates back millennia and is a fundamental part of the human condition. The natural sexual desire that man has for woman is among the most powerful forces available to us in this realm. Almost everything, from the impetus for some of humanity's greatest intellectual accomplishments to some of its most gruesome wars, can be traced to man's desire for woman. While there is nothing wrong with the righteous application of the sex force as is seen in godly marriages, it can turn incredibly dangerous if corrupted. When the potent sexual attractive force between man and woman is corrupted, everything else tends to go wrong. This is not too surprising if one really stops to think about it, because all of us came from the application of the sexual force. It stands to reason, therefore, that if that fundamental part of our being is corrupted, everything else that springs from that place will also be corrupted. From personal experience, I can attest to the fact that a man with corrupt sexual energy is basically living life in reverse. A man lacking sexual discipline will have erratic emotions, lack patience, lack discernment, limit his intellectual power, dull his intuition, be a poor judge of character, and make poor decisions. One of the major repeated poor decisions I made as a Kuma was in my choice of feminine companions. In my former debased state, I was an abysmal judge of feminine character. Through the lens of a sexually perverted man, good-looking females somehow translated to a female with good character that you can marry. It makes no sense, I know. But that is the level of insane thinking that plagues a man who indiscriminately wastes his life force. As a result of that wrong thinking, I kept dating women with deplorable character and had the audacity to get upset when the inevitable end to my societally acceptable fornication agreement came about. Looking back now, that was the only inevitable outcome for all those ill-fated, sinful relationships. In retrospect, it is now clear to me that my past sinful nature colored my perception of female attractiveness. To be blunt, the Kuma version of me was irresistibly drawn to promiscuous women. The more sexually experienced and the more sexually free she was, the better. As I started to clean up my life on all planes, spiritual, physical, sexual, mental, I noticed a gradual but drastic change in the type of woman I was attracted to. I could still admire the figure of a woman in leggings and a sports bra, but it felt more like admiring a beautiful painting rather than being consumed or overcome by an overwhelming sexual impulse. On the other hand, I started to notice and be drawn to another type of woman who was softer, classically pretty, intelligent, and kind-hearted. I started to really enjoy the company of this second type of woman and look forward to interactions with them. As I continued with my masculine purity journey, month after month and year after year, I started to find the overtly promiscuous behavior of females on the internet and in real life absolutely revolting. Every time a female who leaves little to the imagination pops up on my feed, I have a visceral gut reaction of disgust. Not sure why or what is happening, but I seem to be much more attracted to natural women in the way I'm guessing God intended. In this new state, I have found that I tend to value the character of a woman a lot more than her physical beauty, while deciding if she is worth having in my life. The result of this change is more peace, less drama, and more self-respect. Till next time, brothers, Godspeed, and remain blessed, Brother Cooked.